flat out as the red lights go off. He tries to go through on the inside. Oh, we've got fire! Tension is incredible. Such a fierce battle, both fighting like gladiators for victory here. The 24-hour series powered by Hankook is back. After exciting races in Dubai and Mugello, the teams and drivers are at SPA-FRANCORCHAMPS for the third race of the season. Hello everybody, I'm John Hindhoff. Welcome to the Ardennes, where the unpredictable weather can always play its part. Here at Spa, the spine-tinkling Eau Rouge corner, the iconic Raidillon Blanchiment, every twist and turn of this historic track sets the stage for an unforgettable spectacle of motorsport. This is where legends are born and history is made. Welcome to the incomparable Hankook 12 Hours of Spa. This event is the second of the European races for 2024. Coming up, circuits that are simply breathtaking. The Autodromo de Algarve at Portimao, Misano World Circuit Marco Simoncelli on the Adriatic coast, and the circuit Barcelona-Catalunya. But right now, the drivers' focus is purely on the challenges they have for this weekend. The circuit Spa-Francorchamps is one of the classic Grand Prix venues in the world. Corners are household names. Set amidst the magnificent Ardennes forest, this revered track beckons daring drivers and prestigious teams from all around the globe to embark on a relentless quest for victory. The circuit opened in 1921 and started as a 15-kilometre, almost 10-mile circuit. At the moment, it's 7 kilometres or 4 miles. It's still the longest circuit on the F1 calendar, of course, and due to the altitude difference of 100 metres bottom to top, it's nicknamed the Ardennes roller coaster.
It's tough. It's tough. It's no tension all the time, and but it's very enjoyable. It's fast. Everything flows. And when everybody talks about Spa like they do, it's because of something. So yeah, it's a great place, great place.
It is absolutely one of the best tracks in the world. I mean, natural elevation, it's up, down, left, right. I mean, it surely is a flowing, high-speed track. And we started coming in 2013, and we've been here every year since, and I hope to come here many more years in the future. The only thing that nips it for me as my favorite track is the Nürburgring, and obviously that place is just weird. So, but it is an excellent track. I tell all my friends in the States that we race, you gotta go drive Spa, you gotta drive Nürburgring. Top two, for sure.
Well, Spa is an awesome track, first of all. Second of all, at that time in the year, you need to expect these weather conditions, and the Rouge or Blanchiment, it's just a very nice track and one of my favorite tracks, and I always enjoy to drive here on that circuit.
So here is the challenge, 20 corners and just over 4 miles across the start-finish line into a more than 90-degree right-hander. This is La Source, all the way down through the gearbox, use all of the exit on the way out, and then move to the right, hug the pit wall. It's quite steeply downhill here, and you're gathering pace very quickly into the compression. There's a little bridge here, and the Eau Rouge, the red water, is underneath there. That's where the corner name comes from. The rise at the top of the hill, and the left-hander is Raidillon. Got to take your brave pills to get over there flat out. Climbing gently up the Kemmel Straight to a heavy braking area for the chicane at Le Combe. It's right, left, and then Malmedy is the next right-hander. Easy to go over the curb there and put your wheels in the gravel. Downhill again to the hairpin at Rivage or Bruxelles, depending on what you call it, and then through Speaker's Corner, so called because that used to be the only corner at that part of the track that you could see from the PA Tower. Then the challenge that is Pouhon. Double apex left-hander, lots of runoff if you do get it wrong, but you're gathering pace again quickly as you run down the hill towards another chicane. This is fine, yeah. Right and then left through campus with the university on your right-hand side, and then into another couple of right-handers, Stavelot and Curve Paul Frere. then again slightly uphill towards Blanchimont. 155 miles an hour, nearly 250 kilometers an hour. Hold on tight there and then balance yourself for the slow right, left through what is still called the bus stop. Pit lane entrance on the right, cross the line, and if you've done that well, you'll be a very happy driver indeed. Time to go qualifying and find out who will grab the coveted pole position. The session divided into 3 parts, 13 minutes each this weekend. 3 drivers per team pushing the cars to their limit. The best lap per driver counts, and the team with the fastest average lap time then gets the pole position. All teams are out at the same time. There's going to be a lot of traffic. It will not be easy to get a clean lap. We won't be deciding the race here, of course, but everyone still has to try very hard indeed to get the laps. It's not perfect conditions. Hail and heavy rain makes the track very slippery indeed. Visibility, a real issue, not just from the spray and the falling rain, but condensation inside the cars as well, making it a real challenge for the drivers. Drama immediately for Haas RT in the Audi. The car didn't fire up at the beginning of Q1, so Gregory Savet only had 1 quick lap, but that lap had it all. He's 1.5 seconds faster than the rest of his rivals.
Yeah, quite stressful actually, because the car really didn't want to start at the bottom of a rouge, so I had to stay there for, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. I started with totally cold tires, I had no grip in the warming lap, and then there was no chance. That was the last lap that I could make, so yeah, full risk, and I went for it, and luckily I think the time is not that bad, so really happy for the team, and I hope the car now is going to start up. Obviously it's okay. We don't have standing water in Eau Rouge anymore, so conditions for me are quite okay. I had a lot of fun actually driving out there on the wet, so if it can continue like this, no more rain, it's fine for us.
After the 3 sessions, it's 3rd place for the team from Antigua and Barbuda. It's a fierce battle for pole position here in the Ardennes Hills. Car Collection Motorsport with the number 80 pushing very hard indeed. 3 Hong Kong-based drivers, and they are putting down great lap times. The blue number 80 Porsche, second on the grid. But dominating the GT class is the number 12, the other car from Car Collection Motorsport. They're not the overall fastest in any of the sessions, but they have a fabulous balance throughout those 3 13-minute stints. At the end, on average, they've got almost a second advantage over all the other teams on the grid.
Yeah, we always have a bit of special conditions here. I think qualifying was probably the best today because rain stopped. So we knew that the track was progressing and improving in terms of speed, and therefore getting the pressures right of the tires is key, because you want to get the fastest lap time at the end without overcooking the tires, given there was less water on track. I think we managed that pretty well, and for us in the Creventic 24-hour series, we're having new. We are still discovering a bit the tires and everything else, and I think we put everything together in qualifying, as we were struggling a bit more before.
Pole sitter for the 992 category is the number 903 Porsche from Red Ant Racing. Today they've managed to take an advantage, on average, of 1.5 seconds from the Red Camel Jordan Porsche in second. The 702 French Vortex V8 team has the pole position in the GTX class. Their Vortex 2.0 is a second ahead of Team CMR. In GT4, it's the pristinely turned out McLaren Artura of Alfab Racing that has put down the fastest average lap times. And in TCE, the fastest laps set by the British CWS engineering team Colin White and their Ginetta G55. They were on the track at the right time, caught the weather nicely, and are an incredible 10 seconds faster than their opponents. It's Saturday, the first of 2 race days, and we have some important information about the starting grid. 11 cars have been handed grid penalties owing to at least one of their drivers not attending the mandatory drivers briefing. So Car Collection Motorsport number 80 has been promoted to overall pole position and now will start alongside ARC Bratislava's Lamborghini Huracan on the front row. The number 12 Porsche, which was originally pole position, remember, has got a 2-place grid penalty, now starting from 3rd overall. Meantime, the Haas RT number 1 Audi, originally due to start in 3rd, is now in 4th, so has swapped sides on the grid. That was a one-place grid penalty too. There's a tense atmosphere. We're full of excitement. So are the teams, drivers and mechanics. 12 hours, a long time for man and machine. Diana Binks with the trophies that are on offer. And the main topic of conversation is the grid.
It means a lot. Would be nice to have both cars in front row. Obviously, we got the drop of 2 penalty for that car. But anyway, we can change or we can keep the pole position, and it's very nice. Very important here in Spa. Nice track with a lot of history, so it's good to be on pole here in Spa.
The Slovakian team ARC Bratislava with their bright yellow Huracan have certainly benefited from the new starting order.
Well, very good. We started in the front row, so it's always a good feeling. But yeah, let's see what the ring brings us. Will be a good race for sure. Starting in the front row is a very big advantage because you don't have the spray of the cars in front of you. So yeah, basically just take it step by step because it's a big track and each sector can be a bit different. But yeah, let's go full push and go get that P1. Yeah, I think the biggest thing will be the strategy because with the changing conditions, you never know. So it will be important to pick the right tires at the right time.
Not unusually for Spa, the weather is the biggest challenge for everybody.
The plan is to stay on the track in the moment, and now we'll see how the evolution of the weather will be. Yeah, we'll see. I think we have our second car on the front, and we'll be collaborate and to don't make mistakes.
Difficult conditions may need a special strategy. Spa-Francorchamps awaits the drivers, always has a surprise or two.
The best approach is stay out of trouble and keep somehow the car on the track. And we are lucky that we are so much in the front because the spray will be terrible. The visibility will be very low.
The grid then certainly has been jumbled up for the Hankook 12 hours of Spa-Francorchamps with Porsche and Lamborghini on the front row, car collection and ARC. The second car collection car should have been on pole, starts from the second row with Haas RT for company. Then it's Kessel Racing, Herberth. Red Ant Racing is the best of the 992 class ahead of Hoffer Racing in GT3 with their Mercedes AMG. Well, for once, the warm-up lap has been absolutely critical to find out what the circuit conditions are like. We're waiting for the red lights to be extinguished, and we'll go racing here at Spa-Francorchamps with the spray coming up. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across the track, heading down to La Source. The promoted pole sitter car collection and the Porsche on the inside, but round the outside, ARC Bratislava in that bright yellow Lamborghini Huracan seems to have the advantage as they head down to Eau Rouge. The rest of the field streaming through. What we can see of them, of course. No, pole sitter managed to hang on. Brilliant stuff. Now into the compression and beginning to climb the hill to Radion. Everyone at the moment has managed to get through safely. How can they see what is going on there? It's incredible. Up the Kemmel Straight, you can barely see your hand in front of your windscreen. And it is very, very wet there. The trees pull the spray back onto the track. So car collection motorsport ahead of ARC Bratislava, then the second car collection, Haas RT 4th, Land Motorsport there in 5th position. The Kessel Ferrari, I think, in 6th of the spray. Herberth in 7th. I think that was Jutta up into 8th position. Down through Pouhon for the first time. Drivers absolutely searching for grip. Now the two car collection Porsches together. This is the battle for first and second. Antares out. He's dealing with Ivan Giacomo behind him. He's already gone past the Lamborghini of Matteo Larena. And now the number 12 Porsche has taken the lead. And through goes the Lamborghini as well. Is that a problem for the blue number 80 car collection Porsche? Dropped 2 positions there. Now Tim Vogler, Land, looking for, that's 3rd, isn't it? That's another place lost by the number 80 car. Antares out with a disappointing start to the race. Down in the pit lane, Red Camel Jordan, the 909, being pushed back into the garage. This is another poor start to a race. Exactly what happened to them in Mugello last time out.
Yeah, we have a throttle problem, but we don't know exactly what the reason is or what is causing the problem. We thought we fixed it yesterday, but today on the way to the grid, we had the same problem again. So, yeah, we cannot do the race now. It's really disappointing. Yeah, it's really difficult. I think it's the best circuit of the calendar, and I would have loved to drive in these wet conditions. Normally, I really enjoy these conditions, so it's really a shame that I couldn't do the start.
10 minutes into the race, and Ralph Bohn has been charging through the field in the black Herbert Porsche. He's in fourth. That's Tim Muller, I think, in the Haas RT, number 1 Audi, third and fourth position. And here comes the Porsche to the left-hand side of the track. Can't make that pass there. Kemmel straight. Battle for the lead. Here comes the ARC Bratislava Lamborghini. Takes the lead and puts the car collection Porsche down into second. They've really taken their opportunity, being promoted to the front row of the grid in that bright yellow car, and now pulling away from the field. Lorena has put a few seconds into that gap already, and the battle for second now is Haas RT versus Ralph Bohn, who's come through. So Bohn now into second. Rain pouring again, affecting the lap times. And down at the bottom of the Eau Rouge run, that's the Kessel Racing Ferrari that's gone into the barriers, code 60. This is a great opportunity for the leaders to come into the pit lane. Ralph Bohn has stayed out in the number 91 Herbert car. They'll take the lead. Code 60, 60 kilometres an hour, no overtaking. The pits stay open, no safety car. It's a really sensible way to neutralise the race circuit. Allows the marshals to recover any crashed vehicles and get back to the green flag as quickly as possible. Kessel Ferrari looking a little second hand as it comes back to the pits on the flatbed. 90 minutes into the race, let's take a look at the class leaders. Those code 60s and the hectic starts has allowed the Neuhofer Rennsport number 985 Porsche to snatch the lead in the 992 class in GTX. It's another Porsche. This is the German team 911 in their beautiful green 719. They've got a lap on Team CMR in the 795 car. GT4, Alfa were leading for quite a while, but now, after the code 60s and the pit stops, it's Lion Speed in their GT4 Cayman that leads. And in the TCE class, it is the pole-sitting CWS engineering team in the 178 Ginetta G55, still holding sway there. Jason Hart now behind the wheel of the leading Porsche from Herbert. They've got to the front with a stunning combination of good strategy and great speed, and Jason's just put the fastest lap of the race in as the track dried just a little bit. They've got about a minute on the rest of the field. 2 hours. Time for the next schedule full stop pit stop, including some racing fuel. And that means we've got a new leader, Hashish Patel, aka Hash from Car Collection Motorsport in the number 12 car. Maintaining his focus at the front of the field. Oh no, I've just said that and cursed him. Spin at Lecombe for the leader. No contact there, my goodness. Now some real drama. The Ginetta G56 Cup, Team CMR, at the side of the circuit. Michael Simpson has only 3 wheels on his wagon. He's lost the right rear wheel and tyre. 795 then on the flatbed, heading its way back to the pits. Problem for the Alfab Racing Black McLaren. It's being pushed into its garage. Diana Binks is there with the team.
We had a very, very slow fuel fill on our first green flag fill, so we lost 6 minutes to the Lion Speed car, which around here is an eternity. So we sort of take the pain now, fix it, back into the race. So I think we should be okay to the end now. Really good. I think obviously Daniel's a very good driver, so he did a very good job in the first couple of hours. Got a good gap over the other 3 cars. And then Eric as well, you know, was very strong in the dry. Obviously, conditions are very, very mixed at the moment, so it's all about keeping it on at the moment and getting to the intervention break. Obviously, the real stuff happens tomorrow, so yeah, we'll see. It's interesting here because obviously you have a lot of variables with the Code 60 and the different fuel times, and then also the tyre choice at the moment is obviously up in the air because the sun's come out for 5 minutes. You know, we could have snow in 10 minutes like the weather we've had here this week, so yeah, it's definitely a tricky race so far.
The 992 Porsche class leader, the 985 from Neuhofer Racing is in the wall, Code 60. And we'll have another new leader, Jutta Racing in their Audi. Lars Viljoen scored in the lead for just one lap as he comes into the pits.
Yeah, pretty satisfied when I jumped out the car and saw a P1. So yeah, pretty good. It's great calls by the team with fuel. I think that's what's kind of got us ahead there, and obviously good timing with the slicks. It was really trying to manage the last kind of the last 45 minutes in the wet there. It's pretty tough. Obviously, you know, the grip just goes once it rains. So we had a good time on the slicks when it was dried. I think we made our way through the field. Didn't want to take too many risks, but it was a good feeling out there. It was a little bit scared at the end, but kind of glad I brought the car home in one piece. Yeah, look, we unfortunately wrote off a car in practice, and yeah, it was tricky conditions. It's been tricky conditions all weekend. Luckily, the team had their Nürburgring car in the truck. They're at the Nürburgring last weekend, so we managed to take that out, change it within I don't know, a couple of hours just to get us through qualifying. We didn't have a proper setup. We had a Nürburgring setup. It was just surviving, and then we managed to. The team did wonders, you know, last night, setting the car up for Spa in the wet, and honestly, it's night and day. You know, we've got good pace, so just fingers crossed we keep it to the end.
So after the pit stop cycle, it is Herbeth Motorsport back into the lead. The black number 91 seemingly set up perfectly for these difficult conditions, the wet and the dry, but especially the cold. It still hasn't warmed up. After the incident for Neuhofer Racing, it's the 903 Porsche of Red Ant Racing back in the lead in the 992 class. In GT4, Simpson Motorsport now leading in the white BMW number 438. There's been a lot going on in this class. Not even a third of the race completed as yet. CWS with the Ginetta G55 still leading in the TCE. Colin and his teammates have done everything right so far. Quick lap times, staying out of trouble. Diana is with Daniel Morris from the team in the pits.
So Perry Stephen just went, lost it, and yeah, it was a bit of an airy moment, went a bit wide, but yeah, come straight in. Guys are working on it now. We're getting back out there. They're still trying to identify the actual fault first, and hopefully it's going to be a quick fix because we're doing quite well out there. It was a little bit sketchy, especially when it rain started again, and we decided to stay out on slicks, which was, yeah, a bit airy, but it was good fun, enjoyed it.
Somewhat of a hectic start to the race, and with 1/3 down, here's how they stand. Herbeth Motorsports Porsche ahead of CP Racing in the AMG Mercedes. They've stealthed their way up into second position. The 80 from Car Collection in third. Then Red Ant leading the 992 Porsche class and fourth overall. Making up the top 8, Jutta, E2P, RD Signs and Land Motorsport in their Audi. Plenty of action, and we've still got more than 8 hours on the clock. Endurance races, of course, always have their own pace. Not only about top speed, coming out on top at the end of a long-distance encounter needs more than just a quick car. Tyre management, fuel consumption, being smart with the Code 60s, about how much fuel you have and when you top it up, along with fast driver changes, quick, flawless pit stops. In the end, comes down to teamwork, doesn't it? The team that unites all of these factors the best has the best package and probably, but only probably, will win the race. And the number 85 CP Racing team is a perfect example of that. They started in 23rd, and using their vast amount of experience, the US veterans are now up to second place. Well, the rain is falling again, and Herbeth Motorsport, Ralph Bourne into the pits for wet weather Hankook tyres. It's too wet for the slicks. Great choice on the tyres from Ralph Bourne and Herbert. Don't be fooled by the sunlight. It is very, very wet out there. And now Herbert have been at the head of the field for more than 3 hours in the number 91 Porsche. Jutta Racing Team, the number 71, on a mission at the moment. Lucas Sundal trying to squeeze every bit of performance out of his Audi to get back onto the lead lap. It's crucial in a split race like this because tomorrow all teams on the lead lap effectively start at 0. 22 minutes on the clock. La Source hairpin and the GTL Porsche looks like it's hit the wall. That's the GT4 Simpson Motorsport BMW as well. This is going to be a code 60. This is brilliant for everybody. They can come in and get some fuel because remember, you can't fuel overnight. So lots of people on the pit lane at the moment getting fuel that will stand them in good stead for the restart tomorrow. CP Racing had just been into the pits for fuel and tyres before the code 60. This catapults them up the field, and importantly, they're on the lead lap. Huge moment for them. Well, there's only a few minutes left, but Max Edelhoff in the blue and white number 34 Land Audi is looking to improve. That's the battle for third position. E2P Racing in the Porsche lose that spot with just moments to go before the race is neutralised for today. Let's look at the other class leaders. At the end of Saturday, Redon Racing, the number 903 have been pretty flawless. They're surely the ones to beat on Sunday. In GTX, 911 Racing from Germany, they've been leading since the red lights went out. The other teams in the class seem to have been struggling with their problems. 9 laps their lead at the end of today. GT4 has been a bit of a bun fight, to be honest. Been going backwards and forwards. The only consistent team so far, Team Lion Speed in the 424 Cayman. They've cruised into the lead for a few hours now, and they are 1 lap ahead. TCE was led by CWS Engineering for several hours. They've had technical problems, and they've been back in the pits for a while. It's SRS Team Zorg Rennsport now in the lead. For the overall lead, no change. Ralph Bourne for Herbert Motorsport, and the Porsche will come to Saturday's checkered flag in the lead. Pretty perfect first day of racing for this highly decorated German team. In second, a bit of a surprise actually. In the final hour, RD Signs are up into second position. They've done a long stint with very worn tyres today. Let's see if they can keep that position tomorrow. It'll be third at the end of Saturday for the blue and white Audi of Land Motorsport. They took an early gamble to pit under code 60. It didn't really pay off, but Max Edelhoff has dragged the team back inside the top 3. Let's pick up some interviews down in the pits with Dai.
Well, under these conditions in Spa, this is a very special race, and I never did this before, and so I'm very happy to finish like this today. Well, the first part was even easier as we always had the rain. So no change to dry and wet conditions. And in the end, we very much looked at the weather conditions and so decided slicks or rain tires like it is always under these deals.
What a first day of racing at Spa for the Hankook Spa 12 hours. We've got 6 teams that will be restarting on the lead lap tomorrow, so all those gaps on the right-hand side disappear. It's Herbert, RD Signs, Land Motorsport, Car Collection, CP Racing and E2P all battling for the overall victory. Jutta just 1 lap off the lead, and Hofer Racing make up the top 8. As the cars are packed away for the evening, it's the end of a fantastic day of racing here at Spa on Saturday. The drivers and hopefully the mechanics will have a little bit of rest tonight to recharge themselves for the dash to the checkered flag tomorrow. Sun shining on Sunday for our second part of the Hankook 12 hours of Spa-Francorchamps. Cars are back on the grid, ready to be fired up. Now remember, no work allowed on the cars overnight. Refueling also prohibited. However, due to the very cold and wet conditions, and for safety reasons, they have been allowed to change the tyres. Let's see what Sunday has in store for the teams, drivers and fans. Well, we gridded up in bright sunshine, but Mother Nature has played her hand again with hailstones and extremely cold conditions. Race control has decided to start the race behind the safety car, getting temperature into the tyres a real challenge for the drivers. Safety car has headed to the pit lane, and so is the Land Audi. They must have cut it really fine last night. They're coming in for fuel as the lights are about to go out, and Ralph Bourne rockets into a huge lead down to La Source. 7 hours of the Hankook 12 hours of SPA-FRANCORCHAMPS still to go this Sunday, and already we're seeing strategy playing out. He's pulled out a good couple of seconds. Fabulous to see Tracy Crone and the Crone Racing team back here after that huge incident in the last race at Mugello, and Tracy is back as well. He said he would be. He's delivered on that promise. Confirmation of that number 34 Land car into the pit lane, and they'll take their service, having had to come down through the F1 pits and now into the endurance pit lane. That has left Ralph Bourne in a commanding lead. There's been an accident at the top of Radion. That's Adrian De Silva in the EBM Porsche. The car's been into the wall quite heavily. Adrian out of the car, that's good to see, but the car won't be coming back under its own steam. Code 60 is out now. This plays into the hands of anybody who needs fuel now. This is a great strategic move for them. Don't like to see cars damaged, but Herberth Motorsport has taken the opportunity to come to the fuel pump. Even Giacomo, car collection number 12, they have short fueled that car and they've got track position now. It's not good news for E2P Racing, though. Diana Binks is with Pablo Bagheera.
Actually, we had very low fuel, and we think we didn't have for more than one lap, so that's why we tried to avoid a code 60, which would have been very annoying for everyone. It's a survival weekend, basically. Yeah, it's been very difficult. And yeah, strategy, I suppose, is going to be key, and keeping your brain cold and focused on surviving and not doing any stupid things. But you know, sometimes even if you do it, it's unavoidable in this track.
Drama for the GT4 leader, Lion Speed. Looks like they've already been off once, and they're on the green stuff again. My goodness me. That's a huge slide down towards Pouhon and ends in the gravel. Good news for Bagheera ZM Racing. They have taken over the leading class. EBM Porsche back to the pit lane. Red Ant Racing are still leading the 992 class, but it's the 904 car that's at the head of the field now. They've not pitted during those last code 60s. It's a great weekend so far for the Belgian team on home soil. It's taken 45 minutes for us to get a battle for the lead, but here it is. Ralph Bourne is catching and has caught now Charles Esplanade for the CP Racing AMG GT3 team. He's right in the wheel tracks of the red, white and blue AMG Mercedes. Super experienced drivers. The Porsche may be coping a little bit better with these conditions. He throws it up the inside into the bus stop and goes through, and the lead has changed. Or has it? Esplanade comes back and almost draws alongside, but by the start-finish line, the Porsche is ahead. New leader. Now, for those of you wondering where the number 12 car collection Porsche has been, stuck in the pits for the last 15 minutes. Diana Binks is down there. Let's find out what's going on.
Unfortunately, we lost the drive shaft. We saw it yesterday already during a pit stop, where we had a bit of grease in the rim, and then it's getting more and more during yesterday's race, and also now in the intervention break. When we fire up the car, it was also more grease in the wheel housing, Yeah, we hope that we can survive, but unfortunately it broke quite early, so now we have to change. We prepared already a completely wheel carrier with a drive shaft, so I think it's fixed soon now. They put on the bodywork again, and then we can go out again.
Drive shaft replaced for the 12 car collection Porsche. There's no chance of victory now, but they'll go out again anyway. The true spirit of endurance racing. That's the Herbert Porsche. Oh my goodness, that's the leader. Ralph Bourne has lost control and spun across the track into the inside wall. It's very muddy over there, and that car's been for a wild ride. The marshal's doing a cracking job, but surely that's any chance of victory for Herbert now gone.
Well, I made a small mistake with a big influence on our race position at the moment. So it was my fault to overtake too fast, and then I didn't manage to went out of the meadow and got stuck there, and this costing us 2 laps. Well, I was fine with the conditions, but due to my fault, it was the thing. Well, I'm not lucky about it, you can imagine. But the race is not over. We're going to fight whatever we can back.
So a new leader, CP Racing with the AMG GT3. The consistency that the team from the United States have shown is super impressive. Remember, they started yesterday from 23rd.
Obviously, the conditions are tricky. I got to honestly say that's the first time I've ever started a race in snow, but it's been great. Before we go any further, I got to wish happy birthday my beautiful wife. Today, she's with me here in the snow, and we're enjoying the day. So anyway, happy birthday to Jessie. Yeah, you know, I mean, we're CP Racing, we're doing what we're doing, and you know, just trying to maintain. And we have honestly a little difficulty with the tire in the drying condition. You know, some of the other cars can do a little better and maintain that rain tire longer than us. And yesterday we were forced to go to the slick tire because it was drying. We're a little heavier, you know, front engine car. We kind of tend to use the fronts a little. Those guys can use the rears a little more. And you know, rain, we're pretty good, but when it starts drying, they can stretch that Hankook rain tire out a little more. So it's a little tricky for us, but we've gotten lucky on a couple Code 60s. The guys have been doing great pit stops, and we're going to do what we do and keep digging to the end.
There's a new leader in GTX as well. The always hard-working French Vortex V8 team have gone to the top ahead of 9 on Elf Racing. Well, in some ways, they really deserve a victory. They've had a number of setbacks in their last few races. In GT4, Bagheera ZM Racing have established themselves at the top. Alia Kolech and her teammates 1 lap ahead of the Lion Speed Porsche number 424. And in TCE, the Ginetta G55 of CWS is back on top. They've got a margin of 1 lap now to the second place car of SRS Team Zorg Rennsport. The car collection motorsport Porsche number 80 has suffered the ups and downs of the Ardennes roller coaster. Started on pole position on Saturday, finished yesterday in 10th position, and now the all Hong Kong based driver squad is back in 6th. Is there more room to go up before the end of today? Another favourite team with similar experiences so far this weekend, 4th for Haas RT yesterday, down to 12th after some mechanical issues, then ended the race yesterday in 9th. Now back up into 3rd and improving. Gregory Servet just setting the fastest lap time of the race as the track dries. 8 hours of the Hankook 12 hours of SPA-FRANCORCHAMPS completed. And at the top of the standing, CP Racing for AMG, then 3 Audis from Haas, Jutta and Land Motorsport. Then the Spanish Porsche team, E2P Racing, ahead of Herbert in 6th. Then Santaloc Junior team in 7th. And rounding off the top 8, it's car collection number 80 in their Porsche. As the race now enters its final and decisive phase, let's check in with a very special member of the Hankook 24H Series paddock. One of the seasoned veterans of this championship, Charles Putman, who's seen and done just about everything. But a victory here in Spa would be something very special, particularly as we now know that this will be his and CP Racing's last race in its current form.
Well, the series has been great for us. Frankly, I probably would have retired years ago if I didn't have such a a friendly and good venue to come race within. So it's really been key to keeping me here this long, and we love it. Well, you may not have noticed because I look so youthful, but I am getting a little bit older. We've had some changes in life where we're relocating. It's not going to be as convenient for us to travel overseas as it has been. And it's just, you hear those little voices inside sometimes that say, it's probably time to get out of the car. Oh, wow. The list is too long. I can't even start. But just really, it's been some of the competitors that we've met and run with, and a lot of the guys we've run with and enjoyed being with. For me, the big thing is just how my team has integrated into this and done such a great job of supporting me here and the series, you know, all together. It's just a big package. It's really been great.
One driver who has experienced a win here at SPA-FRANCORCHAMPS, Pierre Caffer. He won the Hankook 12 Hours of Spa in 2022 with Phoenix Racing. They didn't have a great qualifying and they've had some setbacks in the first phase of the race. Pierre's done a fantastic stint, comes back to the pits in 4th position.
Oh, well, I must say I had a lot of fun while I'm driving or during my stints. It was more or less my weather drying up very early with slicks on yesterday. It was a gamble. It was so-and-so. First part was good, second part was bad. But we kept the car on the track, and that's very important. And we tried to finish the race here, and then we're looking forward for Portimao.
Typical driver mentality. Pierre looking forward to the next race already. There's still 3.5 hours to go here. Red Ant Racing still leading the 992 class, but this time it's the red car back to the top. After their opening victory in Mugello, another success here in Spa would be a big step towards the championship standings. It's been an impressive performance over the last few hours by Land and the 34 Audi blue and white car. They have established themselves in the top 3. Vigo Dalmoir, a little bit too much throttle coming out at the bus stop and rotates the Audi. Now, can he get it pointing in the right direction on the start-finish line? Yes, he can. No harm, no foul, I think, for Vigo. There's been another incident for Dalmoir, this time down at La Source hairpin, in behind the 927 Porsche and made contact with the 178 Ginetta. Race officials might be looking at that one. Car Collection Motorsport Porsche number 80. They were in 6th about 3 hours or so ago, and now the 3 Hong Kong drivers have pushed their way up into 4th, and they're challenging, you know. They could still have a podium position on here. And since I mentioned podiums, let's have a look at the class leaders at the moment. In GTX, it's the Vortex V8 team. They're running quite a lonely race now. All of their other competitors have had various problems. 8 laps is the lead over the sister car. Bagheera ZM Racing also with a comfortable lead in the GT4 class. They've got 4 laps to the number 424 Porsche from Lion Speed, who are in 2nd. No change in TCE. Despite that side swipe, it is CW Engineering and their Ginetta running in cruise mode at the moment. With 2 hours to go, 3 laps ahead of SRS team Zorg Rennsport. Code 60, and this is for the Hankook competition Porsche. Stephen Cho has had a heavy impact with the barriers. The team are telling us he is conscious and not seriously injured, but the number 911 GT Silver machine is far from looking its best. So with the opportunity that every code 60 affords, a good chance for the leaders to come into the pits for fuel and new Hankook tyres. And this is also the perfect opportunity for the organisers to honour Charles Putman in his final race for now.
Thank you guys so much for producing something where people like me can come race. And we have really top drivers. We have great amateur drivers. I mean, this is it's very competitive, but yet it's still a friendly competition, a healthy competition, and it's just a place where we can come do this. And thank you for producing that. I hope a lot of success, a lot of continued success for the Creventic series.
Of course, there could be no better way for Charles to leave motorsport than with a win here at Spa. Looks pretty good for the CP Racing team, leading the field with a little over 2 laps on Haas RT. Tension is growing. Tim Muller has been charging and has closed the gap to the Mercedes-AMG of CP Racing to round about 2 minutes. I'm not sure he can make that up in just under half an hour. Well, it's been a good charge by Tim Muller towards the front of the field, but now he's got to look behind him. Jonathan Huy is coming into view in the Porsche from Car Collection. What a performance it's been from this team. 3rd place at the moment after so many setbacks. Under 30 minutes to go. Charles Esplanade brings the CP Racing Mercedes back to pit lane for their last pit stop. Once again, perfect teamwork. They're as slick as ever. The desired victory almost in sight. That's Shane Lewis who's bringing the car home. As tradition dictates in the 24H Series powered by Hankook, there's a team that gets rewarded before the checkered flag. This time, it's the Spanish team E2P Racing. They built a new car from scratch in just a few days after a huge incident at Mugello. Felicitazione to the whole team.
We have here for you Spirit of a Race Award for SPA-FRANCORCHAMPS. Never giving up. This is always an award for everybody, for all the people, but I'm handing it over to you.
This is for the mechanics.
Correct. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations, guys.
Red Ant Racing, with one or other of their Porsche 992 Cup cars, have led their class right through the whole of Saturday and today. It's a spectacular start to finish victory from the Belgian team. The GTX class has been dominated by Vortex, and their 1st and 2nd place is just reward for the hard-working French team, the unique racing machine with the big V8 engine. In GT4, it'll be Bagheera ZM Racing with their Mercedes-AMG GT4 that take the victory. Colin White's Ginetta, the number 178, will take 1st place in the TCE class. Well, what a fairy tale this is going to be. Just a few corners away from an historic victory here at Spa-Francorchamps for the likeable American CP Racing team. What a performance they've put in very difficult conditions this weekend. Beautiful weather now, but they've fought the elements as much as they have the rest of the competition. On to the start-finish straight for the last time. The checkered flag for the Hankook 12 Hours of Spa. CP Racing, Charles Putnam, Charles Esplanade, Shane Lewis and Joe Foster. 224 laps and a 1-lap victory. You can't ask for more, not in the last race of your career. Fabulous celebrations on the pit wall. Well done, lads.
To win at Spa in a 12-hour race, my guys, my last race, I couldn't ask for anything more. It was just so nice.
Shane Lewis back in Parc Fermé now. He can celebrate with his teammates.
I'm just so honored that Charlie, the entire team, entrusted me with finishing the race. You know, fortunately I could go easy. You know, they got me the big lead. Charles did the heavy lifting. Everybody did such an amazing job. Their pit stop's incredible. We had a few issues at the end. I had the throttle sticking on me about twice a lap every single time, and so I really didn't know if I was going to make it to the end. So I didn't really want to share that with anybody. I was just trying to pull my foot up on the gas pedal to get the throttle from sticking, but we brought it home. Just so proud of the entire team.
A tough Saturday, but a great comeback and a perfect 2nd day of racing. 2nd place goes to Haas RT.
Oh, that was unbelievable. You know, yesterday we thought we lost the race. Actually, we were 1 lap down, and then there were 2 options: or we give up, or we fight all day long, and that's what we did. So that was incredible. I mean, we would never have imagined we could come back to second place. So really, really, really happy, and congratulate to my teammates and to the team Haas-RT that have done an incredible job to give us a rocket car today. So that was really great.
A roller coaster weekend for the number 80 Porsche from Car Collection Motorsport. They end up on the third step of the box.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great result. You know, great day for Hong Kong Motorsport. Big thanks to Car Collection, big thanks to these guys. You know, we're new to the series. Actually, we've been away for a while, for a few years, and we're just really excited to be back, and this is a great result.
What a way to finish off a career. The overall podium with the winners CP Racing from the US, Haas-RT in second, Car Collection Motorsport in third. Once the trophies have been handed over, it's time for the champagne. With the celebrations in full swing, let's have a look at the provisional results of the 12 hours of SPA-FRANCORCHAMPS presented by Hankook. We've seen the top three. Behind them, Herbeth Motorsport in fourth, E2P Racing in fifth, Santalok leads at Audi 6th, 7th and 8th with Jutta and Land Motorsport. Another spectacular Hankook 24-hour series event organised by Creventic. The usual action on and off the track with the added vagaries of the Spa weather. We had pretty much everything: sun, rain, hail, and at one stage it was snowing. A brilliant third stop of the International Endurance Series. We're back in Portugal at Portimao. That's a full 24 hours. I'm John Hindorf. We'll see you there. Ready to go flat out as the red lights go off. He tries to go through on the inside. Oh, we've got fire! Tension is incredible. Such a fierce battle, both fighting like gladiators for victory here.